This is our walking horse. It's Buckaroo. Eric's riding him. This is one of the horses he's still young, fairly young horse. I think he's 5, I think. But he's one of our, he's got some of the more training on him. He's like up there with like Merlin. He's a really nice gelding here. He's out of my mare Hush Hush and by our stallion Blue-Blooded Bandit. And it's cold right now. It's probably 30 degrees. So the horses are pretty frisky. He's just he hasn't ridden them in it's been a while since you've been on him, hasn't it, Eric? Couple weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, and he only rides him just a little bit here or there just to polish him up a little bit, but this is a really nice horse. He's on our website. He's one of our higher priced horses. But he's had just a lot of training. If this is the kind of thing you're looking for, check him out. He's not, like you see, you can watch, he rides off his legs, his body, his seat, and his skeleton, kind of thing. He's in the Western bridle there. And he's just really a very nice horse. And there, he's just blowing. I just pulled in with my car and it kind of got him a little stirrup. He couldn't see what it was or something. But you can see he's doing really well here. But we're training the horses here to be as like ranch horses. I guess that's the best description of what we're doing. And I think a good ranch horse is a really good saddle horse because they're real handy, real level-headed, know a lot, just very versatile, all that stuff. As opposed to just going around an arena in a circle or something like that. He knows all sorts of stuff, side passing, and turn on the forehand, on the haunches. Does all sorts of stuff. He just maintains he'll do a real nice canter like he's doing, just real relaxed. He's a gray horse, obviously. For those of you who don't know about horse colors and stuff, there's 2 colors in a horse. There's black and chestnut, and all the other colors that you see, all the other visual colors, they call it the phenotype, are made from those 2 colors with other modifiers on them. So he is a chestnut horse actually with the gray modifier gene, which is premature graying, and he'll turn all white. Eventually he'll turn all white. Ooh, stop fast there. Yeah, he turned that time. He said he was putting a cue on him, and he wouldn't turn him before, and then he did. He kind of caught him off guard. But that's nice. This is what we're shooting for. The gaited tradition is, we don't do the gaited tradition, even though all my horses are Tennessee walking horses and are all gaited. We don't do the gaited tradition, which in my opinion doesn't put a good foundation on the horses. We put a really good foundation on a horse, teach them all this wonderful stuff and how to be a real versatile, like a ranch horse. And the gait just is there and just comes, and they'll just gait when they're relaxed and everything. They just gait. And you have to build them up to a little bit, their muscles up a little bit, to do it for lengths of time. But most of a good gait is in their head. If they're nervous and fractious and worried, they'll raise their head and hollow their back out, and that is not conducive to gaiting. Even though people will get them to gait like that, it'll break them down over time, and that's why a lot of walking horses that go through the gaited tradition of training are broke down at a younger age and hit the kill pens and stuff like that and get sold for cheap because they don't have a lot of, outside of the show ring, they don't have a lot of function. They haven't been trained a lot. I think, just so you understand, don't misunderstand, I think Tennessee walking horses are the best horse on the planet, best breed. I just absolutely love them. I'm talking about the tradition of training that for decades they've gone through is not, in my opinion, based on good horsemanship. It's mechanical means and stuff like that. So they would use weighted shoes, they'd use big shank bits, they drive them up into the bit, they put weighted shoes on them so they can't physically, it keeps them gaiting, you know. Like, they'll teach the horse, basically they teach the horse to pace, and then they'll put a heavy shoe on them that the horse still thinks it's pacing, but it can't physically get that front foot to time with the back foot on the same side. Just can't get them to place down at the same time because one's got a weighted shoe on it. So it slows it down a little bit, and that's how they'll get them to gait. But in the horse's mind, it's thinking, pace, I'm pacing, I'm pacing. And so when you take those things off them, then they get these horses that pace and are rough and knocking the fillings out of your mouth. And then people get scared of them. I say this kind of stuff all the time. People get scared of walking horses and stuff because where they've been trained in that tradition, the gaited horse tradition, they're just kind of scary. I mean, fast and take off and run through your hands and nervous and all that kind of stuff. And that is not how they are by nature. It's just how they've been trained. It's what they're expected, they think they're expected to do. But you can see him, he's chill, and he's just listening to Eric. Eric loves this horse. I'll say he's his favorite. But they don't have to be like that. But this kind of tradition, I know I've talked to a handful of individuals who are doing the same thing that we're doing, because they've contacted me. We've had conversations on the phone and stuff. But I don't know of any walking horse facility that is doing what we're doing. And so we get a lot of criticism from people in the walking horses. I don't get a lot of love from them, and then I don't get, then people, the public, just see walking horses in the title, or it's Walking Horses is the name of my channel, or my website's walkinghorses.com. They see that stuff and I get these, people calling me an abuser and all sorts of stuff. They don't even watch the videos, obviously. And so I don't get love from either camp. Kind of like a man without a country here. But we're trying to lead by example. And I get people say, why don't you speak up against all the abuse and stuff? And I do. I'm not part of that at all. When I got into walking horses, I didn't even know anything about any of that stuff. I was surprised by it. I've always wanted just a really good saddle horses. I raised really good saddle horses. And so I was not even part of it, And so when I tell people we're leading by example, I'm trying to show people what these horses can do. They're like the biggest secret in the horse world, in my opinion. People do not know how good these horses are. I mean, they're an American saddle horse, basically, a saddle breed. And they have the mind for it, they have the athleticism for it, they have the heart, they got some get up and go. I mean, they're kind of like in some ways, kind of like one of the Spanish horses, like a PRE or a Lusitano or something, in their nature, I mean, they can get, like those horses can be chill and relaxed. They're like a workhorse, but then with a little bit of excitement, they could be right in there and very athletic and moving around bulls and all that kind of stuff, okay? These guys are the same way. They're just, they have a lot of heart, and fun to ride, super smooth saddle horse, good minds. I mean, everything about them. They're just a delight. They're happy to see you, you know. I come out and they'll come across the pasture and come over and say, hey, how you doing? And you know, they're just wonderful. And you look at him, see, he's totally relaxed. He's just such a willing partner. So, this is what walking horses can do when you train them. This is what the style and the tradition of horsemanship that we're students of is the Vaquero tradition, or also known as the California tradition or style. And like I said, it's based on, it's kind of like a Spanish, Portuguese, French classical. It's kind of in those lines. And I just think it honors the horse, and you can develop a really super nice riding horse, saddle horse with this tradition. And it's something that won't break the horses down either. It won't break them down. It just builds them up, and it's good for them mentally and their spirit and physically. And it's just a wonderful thing. Yeah, this is Ed's Buckaroo in Arizona. It's like I said, it's freezing cold here. It's probably about 30 degrees, 32 degrees. I think it's around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is what they can do. It's Ed's Buckaroo. I'm Ed. Thanks for watching. Should people subscribe? They should. Hey, smash that like button and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.